Hi everyone, Deb here. I am going to share a small haul and then a free gift I got. So I'll do the free gift first. I placed two sort of small but over $50 orders from Stampin' Up. One I already shared. The other one I placed the day, I think it was December 1st, the day the clearance rack refreshed. And also the day that their mini catalog clearance or last chance began. I think I only got one thing out of that, but I did get some clearance items. They haven't shipped yet. So it's 7 days now, say 5 working days, and it still hasn't shipped. So I'm a little upset about that, but I know they do all the demonstrator rush orders and stuff first, the first day of pre-order, so I'm hoping it ships like today or tomorrow because today's Thursday. Anyway, for the first order, the demonstrator said I could get a free gift up to $10, and she sent me, I asked for this because I really love this stuff, and I do have it, but you know, who knows when it'll retire, so I wanted to make sure I had some more silver and gold Simply Elegant trim, because that actually carried over from prior years. So I have this one open, but I use it quite a lot actually. And then the second order, I really don't need anything like embellishments or ribbon, so I asked for dimensional. So she sent me 2 packs of dimensional, so I got that, but I haven't got my order yet. I'm going to stick them in here. And she also sent me this most beautiful card. Now this was celebration paper, I think called Wonderful World. It's on Blushing Bride cardstock, and I think this is just a gorgeous card. I believe this is the Contour Shapes dies, and I guess these are the borders dies. I have them, but I hardly ever use them, so this inspires me to use them. And she bumped up this whole panel on dimensionals. I was going to say, I don't know if it's foam sheets or dimensionals, but it's dimensionals. And then she did, this is the Sweet Sorbet ribbon, which I don't think looks like Sweet Sorbet. And some of the jemmies, I think they're out of the gnome pack. And this beautiful lacy butterfly. Beautiful. You make me smile. So that made me smile, actually. So thank you very much. You know who you are. Oh, and she wrote on the inside a little note, but she wrote it on a sticky note. And it's stamped, "The world is better because of you." Just beautiful. And a strip of the paper. Just beautiful card. And she even left the envelope blank so that I could actually reuse this and mail it to someone. So that was my freebie gift. And then I do have a small order here from Scrapbook.com. You know, they were having their sale and they gave me this gift guide, which I'm really seriously considering changing the way I do my cardstock, because it looks a hot mess right now, and some of the papers get occasionally get bent. And plus, now that I'm, you know, not going to only be doing the Stampin' Up stuff, I'm thinking I might want to, I don't know yet, I'm torn, or I'm really torn with that. But I did get some of their 6x8 paper pads, which I'll show you in a minute. I didn't get this whole, they have a whole set with a box even. I did not do that, but I had previously bought Scrapbook.com's Sherbet in A2 size and in what do you call it? A slimline card size, and they're like a sherbet color rainbow, 40 sheets of each. So, but I didn't get the pattern paper. I didn't even know they had pattern papers at that time to go with it. So what I got is their cardstock. It is 85 pound. Now it is white centered, and you can sort of tell that when you look at the card. But you know what, for card mats and stuff, it's okay. Half the time I ink around the edges and stuff anyway. But then they have the pattern collection too, with all these cute patterns. We've got hearts. That green would be good for St. Patrick's Day. Dots are good anytime for birthday. This is good. This color looks good for autumn. I don't really know what to call that. It's sort of a cross between a yellow and a brown. Some yellow and purpley pink hearts. Some stripes. Now, I don't know if I'll use that big print, but maybe, you know, I don't know. But the back has a print stripe, just similar but thinner. That also would be good for autumn, I think, those colors there. And then a floral. Well, two florals, a smaller one and sort of a medium-sized print. So, really pretty. Coordinates with this. There's that color. I don't know what, I guess that's like an orangey color, but it's sort of a brown orange. Now see there, that looks more like Mango Melody in Stampin' Up colors, or maybe Pumpkin Pie, cross between the two. This looks more brownish to it than that does, but it goes together. Yeah, and there's a bigger one on the back. Anyway, I got those, and that way I have some pattern paper that'll match the card fronts. And then this I can use to do die cuts coordinating with the card fronts or whatever, right? So I'm all set for their papers. So that's the first two things I got, and all Scrapbook.com items were on sale that day. Let's see if I can tell how much on sale. I don't know. I think they were, I want to say 25% off. Then all Tim Holtz stuff was on sale. I think it was only 10% off. And I never got this leaf one, and I always wanted it. So I checked. I checked before I bought to make sure I didn't already have it, and I didn't. But it has really cool oak leaves and maple leaves and this stuff and whatever this leaf is. I don't remember. What leaf is that, guys? I wish they would kind of tell you. It's called Fall Foliage, the number 660955. It was expensive, but it was at least off a little bit. And let's see how much it was. It says $20.68. So I think it was like $24 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. So I got that. And then, you know, I've been buying the Zig glues, which I really like this chisel tip one. The other one that I bought before, I have used it and I do like the glue. However, I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands, and this one you have to squeeze here to have the glue come down. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I like the fine tip on that. See this tip? It's like a pen. So on Scrapbook.com, I found they had this pack of 3, fine tip, and I need a scrap of paper to show you. I already tested it, so I already tested this one. I want to show you the tips when you get them. They're white. See? You just have to kind of keep pushing on it till the glue comes down. And then while it's wet, it's a permanent adhesive when you stick it to something, and then if you let this dry, it becomes a repositionable adhesive. And I really like this because this is actually a pretty fine tip, not quite as fine as the other one. However, you know, that's a pretty fine line. Can't even see it on here. I got it for glue and die cuts and stuff, and I have used it actually on some thin like snowflake die cuts and stuff, and I really like it. It doesn't glop out all over the place, and you know, so if I stick that down, and now I will say hold it in place for just a second or two like that so that it doesn't slide or anything. And I'm putting this one in the opposite way, so I know that's the one I used already. And I have a little glue box over here on my desk, so I'll put it there. But this, see, it's tearing the paper when I pull it up, so it takes a minute to dry, you know, but when it does, it really sticks good. So it's not dry yet. Anyway, I got those, and then, you know, I bought recently that Candy Cane Lane by Doodlebug. I made lots of stuff with it for, which you'll see on the 13th, so stay tuned for that, under hashtag Be Creative. And the theme this month is holiday, but I also did a double challenge this month for that video, so stay tuned. And I used Doodlebug's Candy Cane Lane. Yes, I didn't hoard the whole pack. I'm only hoarding half of it. But I had bought the Christmas tree sprinkles and the I don't know what the other ones were called, and the big sheet of icons, so I wanted the candy canes for Candy Cane Lane. And I didn't see them the last time, I guess. I don't know. But I got them this time. And I got two. Now, I'm going to blame this on somebody. I can't remember her name. But I was watching a lady do shaker cards with nesting dies. And she used like 6 or 8 different ones. But these two caught my eye. The balloons in particular, I really wanted for shaker cards. You could actually make a whole card out of this balloon here. These are by Paper Roses from Australia, apparently. I don't know that I have much or anything from them. I might have one other from them. Metal shim might be required in some machines, but it works with most die cutting machines. Yeah, they're thin metal dies. They do have little bumps. I think that's where they would hook together, but they've already cut them apart, which I appreciate, because I really don't like cutting those dies apart. I really don't. Anyway, you know, you can layer these and make shaker cards. So I'm going to try that at some point, probably in 2023. Now these, I did not realize they were so huge, but she made, again, excuse me, shaker card, and I can't remember if she used this one and this one, or this one and the little one. I think it was these two. Really cool. And one of them, she didn't use foam. I think it was maybe one, I don't know if it was either of these or if it was some other one, but she just die cut both multiple, like 6 times, one time being the card stock or paper that she wanted on the top, and the other time out of like thick white cardstock or something, instead of using foam. So if you don't have foam, you could do that. In fact, I have Stampin' Up Spruced Up set, and it has a real thin margin, but if you cut that out like 6 or 8 times and then use your thin, or use adhesive sheet, it might be easier, or use a thin glue like this, you can make it thick enough to hold your shaker bits. So I'm going to be trying to do some more shaker cards or shaker things in 2023. Not every month or anything, but I'm definitely going to be trying to do that more, because I have a whole drawer full of sequins. Plus I probably have some Stampin' Up ones somewhere else. So anyway, yeah, I got those. I think the only other thing that came in my order was a freebie. Let me just check something. And I'm really surprised they gave this as a freebie, because I already bought it once and I love this thing. It's the Magic Mat. And here's one of the reasons why. Now, I have had 2 intricate dies not really work well, even with the Magic Mat. I need to clean it yet again. You just wipe it off. I use like I have these alcohol wipes. Let's just do it. They're not baby wipes. They're 75% alcohol antibacterial wipes. I guess like they use to wipe down medical stuff. But I find it takes a little bit of the black off, I think, but it also cleans it. And gets all those little different color bits of paper out of there. You could probably just use soap and warm water as well. So there we go. I'll use this for my mat too afterwards. Anyway, what I like about it is, A, it has not warped. I use this as I'm using my Stampin' Up machine right now. I do have a big something too. Big kick or shot, I don't know. But you use it with plate 1, 2. This would be your plate 3, like for Stampin' Up. And then I use a top plate 3. And the other thing is, because that doesn't warp, my top plate isn't warping either. I should clean that off a little bit too. Now with the plates, when I buy them from, you know, the plates that go with the machine, I always use one on the bottom. I used to always use one on the bottom for a long time, and it became bad. And then, you know, they come in a pack of 2, and then I would put the old top one on the bottom, which I think I did, or I accidentally did once or twice before I started using the Magic Mat. And yeah, so this doesn't warp either now. And I'm so happy with that aspect, because let me show you my old plate that I had on the bottom. Okay, I don't know if you can see how bowed it is. This one is not bowed. This one is not bowed, and I've been using this for like 2 months now, I guess, something like that. I love it. Love it. And almost all my die cuts come out perfectly. Like I said, there was one, it was a huge background, intricate die, pine cones and pine needles, and it did around the edges really good, but as you got into the center, even though, and now it could be my machine too, I don't know, that it didn't have enough pressure. I have to let that dry, but you can see this is how my plates were going. So when it got like that, I would normally put this on the bottom, grab a new pack, and put one of them on the top, and because the top plate always stays nicer. I do also have the embossing plate from Stampin' Up, but love, highly recommend. If you don't want your plates to warp, yeah, it's great that way. And they have on their website like which, yeah, see, warping is normal and may be fixed by carefully warming it, but I have not had that happening. So you can accomplish this by a heat tool or by holding your mat in warm water till it softens. Lay it on a flat surface. When it's cool again, it'll be flat again, so that's pretty cool. I didn't remember that part. Use the right sandwich layering for your machines, yes. And on their website, it tells you which machines it works with. It clearly doesn't have Stampin' Ups on there because, you know, they're a different entity altogether. But it does work. This is the regular one. They have longer ones and other sizes too for other machines. All die cutting machines are a little bit different, yes. Normal wear and tear or age of machine. You may need to add a paper shim or 2 or 3 to use it successfully. I have not had to do that, although maybe if I had done that with my setup, I maybe could have got that intricate die to work. That was the only, I think that was the only one actually. I mean, there was one other one I think that didn't quite work. Anyway, that is what I got from Scrapbook.com this time. Just so you all know, I am trying really hard not to buy, see, this is stuck. This is that glue. It was pretty well stuck. Anyway, it's going in the trash. I'm trying not to buy in 2023. I have so much stuff. Although, I have to say, I watched a room organization having to do with just paper this morning. Oh my word, I no longer feel bad about how much paper I have. However, that person's room is set up so much better than mine, and has shelf units that have drawers that pull out, which I've never seen from IKEA. They're meant for clothes, but she stored like collections in them, and you could pull the drawer out and see what you have. Loved that. Loved that. And my thing is, I have stuff all over the floor because I don't have anywhere to go with it, and I need to declutter the floor, because one thing, it's a safety hazard, and second thing is, occasionally I can barely see the floor. Right now I cleaned up a little aisle over here that I can get back to my stuff. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Alright guys, I'm rambling on. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Do you like what I got? I didn't get a whole lot, but you know, I'm going to be trying, after my next 2 orders come in, not to buy too many craft supplies. But you know, there's always new stuff. So I'm not going to say I'm on a freeze next year, but I am definitely going to be trying to use what I have. And also to de-stash some things. I have some things here ready to de-stash. I just have to do the videos. But I really wasn't sure if this is the right time of year to do that, because people are holiday shopping and not necessarily crafty shopping. Unless you're like me and you're shopping for yourself at the holidays, which is bad. Anyway, happy holidays. Hugs, love, and peace to everyone. Please stay safe out there as best you can, and I hope to talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.